again, what we're going to do here is we're going to map the uploaded evidence for the O-1A regulatory criteria under our specific, again, specific case laws here. For each criterion, list what document supports it, rate the strength, so we can give it strong, moderate, weak, or not met, and explain the reasoning. We can also flag any criterion where the evidence looks weaker than it first appears. So if there's anything that looks maybe strong initially, but isn't actually as strong as we might think, this can actually give us some details into that as well. So let's go ahead and run this as well and kind of see the responses that we get here. With this, right, we'll run through, we'll actually see kind of the mapping of these criterion here as we're going through it. So again, we have support several O-1A regulatory criteria strongly. Again, as we already mentioned, right, some of these including the original contributions, authorship, judging peer consultations, leading in critical roles, and the high salary. The weakest looking areas, again, are going to be the membership. Because of this, we have the available professional memberships don't show any organization required outstanding achievements for admission. There are some potential overstatement risks on evidence tied to the employer's business distinction and on the critical role criterion if the case narrative relies too heavily on self-serving employer statements rather than independent corroboration. With this, right, we have some examples. First one here, we have the lesser nationality or internationally recognized presence or awards. There's no strong supporting documents for this. Again, there's nothing in here that really shows, hey, where are these major awards? Where are these major contributions? And the system actually points that out and actually says, I didn't see anything that, works with that or kind of works kind of in that regard. With that, again, we've mentioned the membership that requires outstanding achievements for members. We're going to see the documents that it looks at. It's still saying it doesn't believe it's met. Our CV lists a couple of memberships, but the record doesn't show that either of these require outstanding achievements for membership. The expert CV is in the background's evidence for the experts, but not proof that the beneficiary has to qualify for membership, right? So this is one of those areas where we can either improve the strength or get additional resources from our client to show, hey, actually these did require specific, high level skills in order for us to even be considered with that. Same thing too, published materials about the beneficiary's skills. Again, this goes through the author's published articles, supports the author's criterion, but not the published materials about the beneficiary. There's no press profile, feature articles, or media about him as well. With this too, again, participation as a judge of others' works. With this too, we also have what I really like about this too is actually giving us kind of a range of where these can be, right? This can be a moderate to strong aspect of meeting these criterion within here. Again, it also gives us some highlights saying, hey, this might be weaker than it first appears, just based on the documentation we provided. The reason for that, again, is that we're actually going through this. There's no independent corroboration for this review. We may want more detail from USCIS on the scope and the frequency of the judging within this as well. The ones that we believed are ready to be strong, right? So that would be the original scholarly or business contributions. We can see the strength. We have multiple citations and documentation here. Again, even giving some examples of why it might be weaker than it first appears. More of these examples of the scholarly articles in the professional or major settings. Again, strength with these as well, where it is this document comes from. Again, this criterion here is usually pretty solid. Employment or critical essential capacity. Again, same thing with this. This can be moderate to strong, showing where this came from. And then finally, of course, our salary data as well within this. So with this, right, in terms of actually needing to meet the criteria, we need 4, solid, strong criteria for an O-1A. With this, we have at least 4 that are going to be moderate to kind of that strong category within the documentation here. Big thing for this too, right? We're actually able to go through and see which ones that would be, and that kind of helps us to shape our narrative as we kind of write the story of our client, right? We want to put focus on the ones that are going to be our strong criteria that are going to be met, while not having to worry too much about kind of these additional sources. Obviously, we can include them in there, but either finding ways to strengthen that or to better include ways for us to actually evaluate our client's profile based on the documents they've provided to us.